Okay, so we have game 5 up on the board here, and it looks like a Market Square Apprentice board. There's also Counterfeit, which is real nice. You could get a bit more money with the counterfeits. Speaking of counterfeit, it seems like my opponent has 5-2, which I expect to be Vagrant and Counterfeit. No reason not to pick up the Vagrant on 2 here. It doesn't hurt your deck at all. Now on 3, 4, Potion obviously comes into my mind here to buy the University to pick up Apprentices. However, 3, 4 and picking up Potion does not let me get to either Apprentice or Counterfeit fast enough. And I feel like my opponent is, yep, there is the Counterfeit. He didn't buy a Vagrant on 3 or 4 there. And I feel like if I don't get to 5 quick enough, then that'll be bad for me. So I open with Market Square Silver, and I do manage to get to the Counterfeit. I don't, however, manage to get to Potion on turn 4 here. That would have been the ideal thing, to pick up a Potion on turn 4. My opponent, he does have a Potion, I believe. He picked up one on his last turn. Still no 4 for me here. That would have been a Potion. Again, I felt maybe still here should be a Potion. But at this point, I don't know, it's hard for me to tell. It was hard for me to tell at the time whether or not it was the right thing to do to go for the Potion when I could just pick up an Apprentice here instead. Kind of short-sighted play here maybe. So I could have gone something like Potion Market Square and picked up a University, and that is probably better than not doing so. So where I went wrong here is probably just not picking up the University, but I felt really pressured in this game with that early counterfeit to go fast, and going fast means that I just buy the things that I would ordinarily gain out of the supply with the University. The University is also a stop card, unlike Market Square or Apprentice, for example. So I was hoping to capitalize on that initial slowness for my opponent, but it doesn't work out that way, and arguably I should know better than that. 3 universities for him now, and yeah, I mean, you don't have to watch the rest of this video to know how it ends. The universities will let him get lots of apprentices, which is the key for the Apprentice Market Square thing. You need to have Apprentice Gold in hand, or Apprentice anything really, but a bunch of Market Squares is the thing. University could gain lots of 5 costs. You could trash those to your apprentices as well, and it really helps out with the draw. You need to get lots of draw, and the Apprentice does that for you. Again, I considered Potion there at that very late stage, but it's way too late for the Potion. My opponent has 3 Potion, 3 universities, and I can't deal with that. I can't. I needed to pick up that Potion earlier. Whether or not I should have opened with it is a question. Whether or not I should have picked it up soon after I had the counterfeit. I felt like that time was the best time to do it. I'm not too displeased with opening with the Silver Market Square thing, but looking back at the game, perhaps I should have gone for the Potion. Anyways, it's a real one-sided thing here now. By this point, my opponent gained a couple apprentices last turn, and he has a couple goals in his deck already with the Market Squares. 5 here for me. I think about counterfeit or apprentice, and I think I take the apprentice just to try to deny my opponent from buying them. A stall turn here for my opponent doesn't bode well for me for next turn, honestly. Apprentice Vagrant for him. Here I could get 2 goals if I trash the copper, but I decide to draw a little bit, and I can trash 1 copper with the apprentice, 1 with the counterfeit, and just try to get thinner a little bit more quickly than my opponent because I had the apprentices earlier than him. Fortune teller here is trash fodder. Honestly, there's nothing else to that. There's no subtlety, nothing clever there. My opponent kinda kicks off here, trashes an estate and trashes a silver, but I don't think they make it all the way around. They trash the counterfeit, which I thought was a real madness play, but as it turns out, they don't really need it. They have lots of plus buy and they'll get lots of money from the apprentices. So here comes the last few apprentices here for my opponent. He actually picks up a duchy and 2 points from the arena, so I found that to be a bit strange. I didn't really see why there was a need to pick up the duchy. Maybe that's trash fodder too, like my fortune teller, honestly. But I thought 6 would have been the um the last apprentice for my opponent. But as it turns out, he's actually paying a little bit more attention to this game than I am in the end here, because he piles out on this turn. Honestly, I didn't see it coming at all, but he takes the last apprentice and the vagrants disappear in a flash, and he wins game 5 here. So now I'm in the back 3-2 here, and we'll see what happens in the last game. Hopefully I could push it to game 7 and take it from there. So that is how game 5 ends. Nothing really, groundbreaking in this game. I didn't buy a university and I paid the consequence for it. I just wasn't fast enough to make the potion buy a bad buy. My opponent came through just in the nick of time here, I believe, kicking off with the apprentice market square thing and tons of apprentices. So yeah, I should know better and pick up a university at some point in this game, but I didn't. So there you go, game 5. Thank you for watching, and I will see you.